Nick, do we have news or what's going on?
We have from Jonathan Jones, who Insider NFL on CBS. The Bears are expected to franchise tag cornerback Jaylon Johnson today as they continue to work on a long-term deal, sources say, and that's been kind of the what's going on Twitter right now.
Yeah, Schefter has it too now. Bears are placing the franchise tag on Jaylon Johnson. The tag number is $19.8 million. So there you go.
I'm glad it happened while we were on the show.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that was it.
Well, okay. I think we get confused around here at times. That's all. I think, and this is the way this was going to go. They have until July 15th to work out a long-term deal. Maybe they'll get it done. Maybe they won't. I do think in this town, at times, we get confused on what a good player is. Jaylon Johnson is a good football player. He's a very good corner. He's in his prime. So I am
so he's like Tyson Bagent.
Please don't derail this amazing segment that I'm putting together. If you could just go into your Twitter and stay there for 5 minutes, that'd be great. All right. The point is, I am in favor of signing good players. I was in favor of signing Roquan last year because he was a good player. He was the best player on that defense. The Bears set a number. Roquan wasn't there. He ended up in Baltimore. Guy had a phenomenal year. The Bears overpaid for a linebacker who wasn't as good in Tremaine Edmonds. That's what happened, all right? The other side of it is this.
It's also maybe their strongest position on their defense.
That's fine. That's fine. So I am in favor of signing Jaylon, and I was in favor of signing Roquan. I'll say this, though, because people are bringing up Darnell Mooney and what he could have gotten. If you are not all in on him, if you don't believe that he is what he thinks he is, then make the trade. The Bears would be in a better position today if they had traded Darnell Mooney last year because they didn't believe in what he thought he was. You should have moved on. If you really don't believe in Jaylon and you think he's going to get hurt and you don't think he takes the ball away enough or whatever it is, then move along.
But that's not actually what happened with Darnell Mooney. They thought Darnell Mooney was worth more than he actually ended up being worth. They offered him more than he's going to get now.
I understand that, but at the time, Darnell Mooney was up there, and the Bears were here. So they didn't agree. For a young player in his prime, to me, you're either in or you're out.
They're in.
I think they're in, but they're
not in.
They're into a certain. They were trying to negotiate a long-term deal, but we don't know what Jalen's camp is saying that they want.
Could be out.
More than the Bears are willing to pay.
The general manager's on record saying they're not letting him go.
Okay.
They didn't want to go this route.
Yeah.
I mean, Pohl said that. He didn't want to. He wasn't in favor of the franchise.
But listen, if there wasn't a difference of what he was worth, then they'd have a deal right now. There is a difference. Otherwise, they'd have a deal.
I think you got to put limits on things, right? Like you can't be.
Yeah, there's precedent.
And I respect Ryan Poles for having a number and trying to stick to it and not just curtailing to every player's demands. I mean, Roquan Smith, David Montgomery. I mean, they've gone down this road several times. Darnell Mooney. It's called being disciplined.
I also respect Jaylon, though, in the sense that he wants to get as much as he possibly can. He should want that. He should want that because he balled out last season. I respect him for doing that, too. It's just it didn't come down to a long-term deal.
How a negotiation works.
You don't have to give me a lecture or an explanation of how negotiations work.
But this is how it works in the NFL. And
it doesn't seem like you understand it at all.
What am I not understanding? Tell me what I'm not understanding.
This is how it goes, and this is going to linger into the spring, and he's probably not going to show up to OTAs, and that's perfectly fine. And at some point in camp, there'll probably be a deal, or he'll play on the tag, and we'll be here a year from now talking about the same thing. And Jaylon Johnson will be on the Bears, and they'll win 10 games, 11 games.
Look at how the Montez Sweat negotiation went, right?
Yeah, you know how that went?
Because he had huge leverage. They traded for him.
They were in on Montez Sweat, and they signed him. They treated Montez Sweat a hell of a lot.
He doesn't have any injury concerns. This is not the same thing.
Okay.
It's just not.
So if you're really concerned about him being injured, then you're going to be concerned about him being injured next year. So then trade him. Get your value. Move along. Get another corner in there, and go that route.
We all silly like the mayor.